What is going on, Trash Talkers? We're back with another episode for you. Today's video, we're going to be talking about Xavien Howard and his trade demand from the Miami Dolphins. All that and much more coming your way right now! All right, Nick, it came out earlier this week that Xavien Howard has fully requested a trade, demanded a trade, really, from the Miami Dolphins, citing unhappiness and other different situations that he's been going through with the Dolphins. And we're going to get into his message. But, Xavien Howard is arguably one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL outside of Stephon Gilmore, Tre'Davious White, Jalen Ramsey. He is one of the best all-around talents that we have in the defensive backfield. So it really shocked me to see that the Miami Dolphins are treating him so poorly, or at least reportedly treating him so poorly. So my initial reaction was utter shock, but I want to hear from you. What did you think of Xavien Howard demanding a trade from the Dolphins?
Yeah, I think this came to a shock for me a little bit as well, because Xavien Howard, he's been in that system since the start. He is molded into the player he is because of the Miami Dolphins. He's not who he is without them. And I figured a guy who's been in that system for the last 6-7 years is going to want to stick around, especially with this regime that they have going right now. He could be a building block. He could be the guy that they start building this defense around, which they have been. And if this team ends up being a playoff team or a Super Bowl team, even, that would be because Xavien Howard was one of those building blocks. And I thought that he would want to be a part of that, but it seems like he's just not happy. It doesn't seem like he doesn't want to be there, right? It seems like he just wants a bigger deal, whether the Miami Dolphins give that to him or not. He just wants a big deal. He doesn't care where he is as long as he's paid. So I can understand that from a money perspective, but honestly, if I put myself in Xavien Howard's shoes, I'm thinking about my legacy. I'm thinking about how good I can be, how great I can be, because to me, Xavien Howard is a top cornerback in the NFL, top 5 cornerback, easy. And if he continues on this pace that he's been on for the last few years, he's going to be one of the best of all time if he can continue this. And it's been working out in the Miami system. So why are you going to try to ruin your legacy and try to make it somewhere else and keep that momentum up just to get a payday? He's going to get a good payday, a great payday from the Miami Dolphins, but he's got to just learn the happy balance. I wish that he would think more before he does, but it seems like he really just wants the biggest payday possible, no matter where it's coming from.
I disagree with your sentiment, but let's take a look at Xavien Howard's words himself. He wrote out a statement with his agent talking about this trade demand. So it starts off with, "I've given my heart and soul to the Miami Dolphins franchise since they drafted me in 2016 and want to make it clear that I love my teammates. They are my family, but what I've learned is that the business side of the NFL proves organizations don't always have a player's best interest at heart. My experience with the Dolphins the past few seasons has taught me that. In 2018, I signed an extension that I'll admit I didn't completely understand or feel comfortable with. I've played on that deal for 2 seasons and didn't complain, but everyone knows I've significantly outperformed that deal. I'm one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL, and that tape backs up that claim. The assignments I'm given, shadowing the opposition's best player with little help, proves my value, my worth, yet I'm the second highest paid cornerback on my own team, and it's not even close. I want to clear up a few misconceptions about my situation. My agent David Cantor and I never once asked for a completely new contract. We wanted things to work out with the Dolphins and brought solutions to the table, like guaranteeing more money that we felt were win-wins for both sides. These were proposals of adjustments that wouldn't make just me feel more respected, but were also cap friendly. But the Dolphins refused everything we proposed. That is why I don't feel the organization has dealt with me in good faith. I don't feel valued or respected by the Dolphins. Just like they can't take a business first approach, so can I. That's why I want to make it clear I'm not happy and have requested a trade. Until that trade happens, I am just here so I don't get fined and will handle myself like professionals do. Xavien Howard. So, listening to all of that coming from Xavien Howard, I tend to agree with him. Arguably the third, fourth best cornerback in the NFL, yet he's the second highest paid corner on his own team, and he just got an extension 3 off seasons ago. So the question remains, why is it like that? Well, the Dolphins really are undervaluing him. They are trying to force him into a lower deal, a quote unquote hometown discount, to add other pieces around him, which, listen, every GM who's trying to compete understands that's the name of the game. You got to get the best value for the best bang for your buck. And at the end of the day, Xavier Howard's not willing to take a discount, and he admits to his fault of not really understanding the contract situation back in 2018. And I respect him for not only admitting it but owning up to it and saying, listen, I'm going to continue playing on this contract, but I'm not happy here, and I want to continue moving forward. To say that, he can only do what he did with Miami Dolphins is just, I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I think that Xavier Howard is one of those talents that can transcend no matter where he goes. If he was to go to the Cincinnati Bengals, the Dallas Cowboys, the Seattle Seahawks, so on and so forth, I think he could still be that guy. I really do. And I think Xavier Howard is going to be betting on himself. And there's something to be said about somebody who's willing to bet on themselves like that. We could have said the same thing about Jalen Ramsey. Oh, well, the Jaguars defense that he was surrounded by truly made him. But now, with his time in Los Angeles, we see that Jalen Ramsey really is one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. Same thing with Xavier Howard. I think he is that guy. I think that we owe it to him, and he owes it to himself to go see what he's worth on the open market.
Yeah, I'm not discrediting anything that Xavier has to say, but it sounds like a lot of those words are just coming from his agent. It doesn't sound like that's everything Xavier Howard is thinking. And we've seen the reports of him at training camp. He is being a professional, like it says in the report, and he is continuing to practice with his teammates. He's going on business as usual. And so I do believe he does still want to be there. I don't think all hope is lost for him and the Miami Dolphins to stay together. And if it's honestly a couple $1,000,000 a year apart between the Miami Dolphins and the highest bidder, then he should take that hometown discount. He should stay with the Miami Dolphins because you don't want to just risk it. You don't want to take the risk that Jalen Ramsey took. You don't know that it's going to work out for you. You want to maintain your legacy and get paid at the same time, and you can do that in Miami. Just wait it out. It always works out. It always has in the past. You just got to stick to it. I just think Miami is the best spot for him, and I don't think he should be moving anywhere else.
I just disagree, and I'll continue to disagree for the fact that you have to bet on yourself. If you truly believe in your abilities, then you have to bet on yourself. And it's a gamble no matter what, because there's so many factors: health, injuries, anything, COVID-19. I mean, there's so many things outside of your control. But at the end of the day, for you to be the best that you can be, it may not be for Xavier Howard, it may not be in Miami. So I think that he has to do what is right for him. And I think the biggest issue, the biggest takeaway I take away from his statement is that they're not dealing with him in good faith. And that is a major issue.
We don't know what that is. We don't know what that is. You that's all speculation. That's one side of the story.
It's not speculation.
It's one side of the story.
What are they going to say? Yes, we are. And then you believe them because they refuted it. No, that's not how that works.
The Miami Dolphins are not going to get into a spat with Xavier Howard on social media. That's not how a professional team operates. But Xavier Howard can say whatever he wants. He can say that the Miami Dolphins are waterboarding him in the offseason. Like, it doesn't matter what he says. So you're calling
Xavien Howard a liar?
I'm not saying he's a liar. Again, I think this is mostly coming from his agent. They're doing everything they can to blast this in social media, to force a trade, to get the highest possible contract for Xavier Howard. It's a smart business.
He released one statement. How is this blasting it all over social media?
Because it's one of the hottest topics. When we're talking about Deshaun Watson and Aaron Rodgers, we're also talking about Xavier Howard, a guy who usually doesn't get that spotlight. But ever since this story came out, he has been one of the top guys that everybody's talking about.
Because deservedly so. He deserves a better contract. And
He deserves a better contract,
and if he
100%.
doesn't feel like the Dolphins are dealing with him in good faith, that is his prerogative, and we have to take his word for it. If the Dolphins aren't
Not
gonna come out and
everything
say
you can't
if the Dolphins are not going to come out and say otherwise, we cannot take their word for it because they haven't said anything.
and you have to take what Xavien and his agents say with a grain of salt. Everything they say, you have to take with a grain of salt.
I believe that Xavien Howard has the right to find himself on the open market, and the Miami Dolphins would be best served by trying to find a trade package for him because it does not seem as though he would like to return to the Dolphins in free agency or contract negotiations. Just that simple. All right. Well, that's going to be it for now. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. We go live every single day. That'll be all. Peace and love.